Alright, so I want to give my quick take on karma. Karma is a very interesting word, an interesting topic of discussion. You hear a lot of people say karma is a bitch. You know, so what is karma? To me, karma is nothing more than God manifesting through events and also through the actions of other people. In a nutshell, that's really what karma is. I don't think karma is a bad thing. Like it's always a bad label attached to it. Like somebody gonna get their karma for something they do wrong. Um, but it's not only in a negative way. You know, karma can come back to you in a good way. You know what I mean? It's like we talk about gravity. What goes up must come down. In science, you learn about different concepts of energy and how energy operates. The way karma acts is the exact same way. So it's not just a negative thing. It's whatever you put out, you would basically attract the same thing back to you in one form or another, and at one time or another. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, um, you won't see the return of something for a long time, or in some cases, not even in this lifetime. A lot of times, different things, you won't see the unfolding of it as far as it being reciprocated until you well into another existence. Because how else do you explain things that happen to little babies or kids who haven't really had opportunity to do something to cause certain things to happen to them? You see what I mean? So these things actually carry on to us through each incarnation on this planet, in this life, and in any other forms of existence that we experience. So yeah, that's my take on it. I think it's really undervalued. Like this word is thrown around so loosely, and I don't think it's really taken seriously. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, we might, especially when we're younger, you think, that you might be getting away with something, or certain forms of behavior. And then you get a little bit older, and then you kind of see certain things coming back to you. And if you really consciously aware, you can't help but wonder, is it because of something you did when you was younger? Because the way this happens, it happens in such a way to where it almost brings it to your mind directly, and it jogs a memory of another event that's closely related. You know what I mean? And so you can't help but to wonder sometimes, is this my karma? Or you reap what you sow. You know what I mean? Or your punishment, or your reward, for that matter. No matter how you look at it. um I think when we stop thinking about, um the creator, or God, or whoever you worship, when we stop thinking of that as a man sitting up on the cloud somewhere, and really start to see for what it really is, just basically life itself, nature, and then series of events that always happen and take place in total synchronicity of the life that we living in. I just think we have to pay closer attention to it, and also pay attention more to our self in the dream state as well. A lot of these things are more revealing than we give credit for, you know. But this is just my take on it. Um, if you watch any of the videos I put out, this is just something that you always gonna hear. That's what I believe God is. I believe God is nature. God is karma, and but it's also the events happening, and it's act out or played out through you, through me, through any form of life or existence, because life is life is God. Life is karma. Karma is energy. Energy is nature. And everything kind of fits together in you know, one unique pattern that we call life. So no matter how you really look at it, you never can separate these things. They're always going to tie together to one another in a perfect but almost unexplainable way. And you can't really do nothing but just be in awe and wonder when you think about it, when you think about life and the way things happen, the way things play out. You know, um, I remember one of my friends used to always say, you know, you might think you getting by. No, you don't never get away with something. You might just get by for the moment or something like that. And that's always true. You know what I mean? And these things is true no matter what, if we believe them or not. We can see things happening, and if you look closely at your life or anybody else's for that matter, sometimes you can actually see things coming back. Some things we see coming back to us, and we can honestly say like, well, I can see where I deserve this at. You know what I mean? And those those things happen, but you can always, and you can also balance out your karma. You can pay karmic debts. You know what I mean? You just have to pay close enough attention to your life, to what, and be conscious of what you've done, and then begin to find ways to balance that karma out. You know what I mean? But for the most part, the energy still has to return to you. But there are ways to balance out your karmic debts. But it has to be energy put forward in that same direction, in that same manner. You have to show that you learned the lesson, and then you can alleviate some of what's coming back to you. You know what I mean? But we don't get away with things. We just get by for the moment. And the sooner that we realize this in life, the better off we'll all be, because then we won't want to do each other wrong, or be a direct cause of pain or suffering in anybody else's life. You know what I mean? We'll be way more conscious of those things and more aware of them, and we won't want to do wrong to others, not only because of what it would do to their life, but also knowing that if it's not, if it's not good, if it's ill intent in that, then you pose the risk of almost guaranteeing having that come back to you, in the same form, or another form similar to what you put out, because life is only energy circling, cycling, going out and coming back. That's all this is. That's all life is. From the biggest forms of life that we can see to the smallest microscopic particles, it's just energy. That's all it is. So that was my take on it. My take on karma, my take on nature, my take on God. I like talking about these things. They always been fascinating to me. So you can leave a comment if you want to give your input on it. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm not doing this to. I'm sure everybody ain't gonna always agree with everything I say, but it's not to rub nobody the wrong way. But I'm really not doing this to get into no debates or nothing, no arguments with people over just my views and opinions from what I've seen and learned so far. All right, so I'll see you next time.